Broads Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Broad. So I am recording this Sunday night. It's around 10:30 p.m. I already experienced the Eagles. I know as a city we are going to rip apart the head coach as we should. But I feel obligated to talk about what I saw in Vancouver and Calgary when it comes to the orange and black. We got Matvei Michkov and his NHL debut. He gets his first apple in Calgary on the power play. He could pass the puck, man. I saw so many awesome things from these two games when it comes to shooting in between his legs to show off his skill, his ability to cut into the middle of the ice, use his edges, and see a pass that I don't think many people out there see. Sometimes I think the passes are so elite and quick that the guy who is receiving the biscuit has no clue it's even coming, and he processes the game and what is about to break in front of him probably so quickly where it's almost like too quick for his own good right now. He's got to work to almost marry how quick he sees the game with his physicality, with his knowledge, with his pace. It's almost like Jet Luchenko. For some reason, this is making it seem like I'm taking a shot at the kid. I'm not. But with Jet Luchenko, it's almost as if his speed, just the way he moves his leg and as fast as he is, it's too fast. His mind isn't caught up. This is almost the other way, where he processes the game so fast, the rest of his game isn't caught up to that yet. Is that stupid? Maybe. But I am in love with what I think he's capable of being. And even for Luchenko's sake, I know that Torts gave him the sit down on the second half of the back-to-back, which, by the way, in what universe am I starting the season number one at 10 o'clock on the West Coast where I'm snoozing and doing the head bob, head nod? I can't make it much longer in the middle of the damn third period for the first time getting to experience puck this season. That's a joke, Gary Bettman. And number two, back-to-back. What are we doing? A back-to-back. What a joke. Did I love the way it ended in Calgary? Absolutely not. It got away from them. Did it get away from them because Fedotov was not comfortable, was shaky as hell? Or was it because they were tired? The fatigue. One thing we always give John Tortorella a lot of love for is because of the way that he goes out there for camp and bag skates the hell out of them. They tend to be in better shape than most teams do at the early stages of the season. There's probably a correlation with that and the fact that they're 8-0-2 in their last 10 openers, although Torts hasn't been involved in all those. So I take that back. Was it the fact that Calgary was just being a tougher team? Because I thought they brought that level of oomph. Jamie Drysdale for sure feels it. Oh, man, that dude was getting popped left and right. And I do love the fact that someone like Tyson Forster is willing to step up for the fellas after we watched Sean Couturier do it in the preseason, stepping up for Michkov. So that's the brotherhood. That's the bond. Those type of details matter. It shows that the group is connected and the group is willing to really go to war for one another. And I think as a Flyers fan, that's why this journey with this core of TK and Owen Tippett and Tyson Forster and Cam York and Sanheim, they play a style that's respectful when you're looking at it from that angle. At least I feel that way. And if I have a pulse of the fan base, and I do feel like I do have a good pulse of the fan base right now, I think we can all agree that the style they play, the brand they play, the willingness to play as one, John Tortorella pushing them, the youth and the fun, excitement of the ceiling of a superstar. There's a lot of reasons to get behind this team, to watch this awesome journey, because this is a part of them turning the page. This is a part of them removing the nastiness of Flyers hockey that we have been accustomed to watching, and now putting out a product that there's faith in. There's truth to. There's truth to the greatness to a lot of these players. I love Tyson Forster. I love him. He was fucking electric in Vancouver. Now, technically, because Morgan Frost wasn't feeling 100%, could you make the argument it's probably not best to have one of your better forwards, maybe even your best forward so far throughout the first two games? I don't want him in the box. And even more so, I don't want him in the box having to sit for 10, racking up, 17 penalty minutes? While Morgan Frost is also not feeling his best. He was trying to grit it out as much as humanly possible. I apologize. Here's my wife sending me TikToks. This TikTok better be the funniest TikTok in the world. I don't want to watch it right now. Doesn't look that funny, though, from the picture. So, not happy. But I'm happy when I think about the Fly, guys. I'm happy when I think about shorthanded opportunities from Travis Konecny and Scott Laughton. Here's a new season. They don't skip a beat. I even thought TK had a great scoring chance in game one of this puppy. I will say I love the fact that they fought back. They went down, they fought back. They went down, they fought back. And they win in a shootout? I didn't think that was possible. TK opens up the 5-hole, tucks it in forehand. The patience, the poise. And that was with the game on the line. He had to score or else the shootout was over and the Canucks are picking up the extra point. Urson was insane, too. Flashing the leather. Marty Murder? Who am I watching? Now, Urson's been able to do that in a lot of different games last season. The biggest issue when watching Urson play last year was more about he'd do this, and then he would respond with the equivalent of a poor performance. For as whoa as he was, he'll be like, whoa, you suck. And he'll allow 5 goals on 7 shots and your eyes bleed. So the real question becomes, can Urson be a consistent netminder? Because his highs were no joke. They were serious as hell. And you would win games because of how sharp he was, because of how locked in he was, because of his ability to help out the team when they're shorthanded. And here's the man advantage. They're moving the puck. Well, they're getting one-timers, and he's just squaring up the shot. And if he needs to make a desperation save, he'll find a way to. He'll do that. But when he flops, it's ugly. I thought Fedotov was ugly. I don't know if it's because of the controversy with the money and maybe the expectation set, or Urson was so fantastic that it's making us view Fedotov differently, or it's game one and he just needs a few games under his belt. I'm not sure which one it is yet. But I wouldn't necessarily buy stock in Fedotov right now. I don't feel good about it. And there is a role for a backup netminder. I don't want to act like it's not an important decision, because if you are in a position where you're doing the Taiwan Walker, which is every 5th day, the Phillies said this game doesn't matter. If you put that type of free pass out there whenever Urson's not in the net, that's demoralizing. That's crushing. And for a team that, if they are to sneak into the playoffs, it's not going to be with the command in points. So every point matters. Every win matters. You're going to be scratching just like you were last season. The hope is this time you don't collapse and lose to a Chicago Blackhawks team who at the time were terrible. Same with any other of those bad teams that you lost to. I don't want to relive those memories. Now, you know what goes well with the Flyers W, with the Flyers game in general? A garage beer, baby. A garage beer. This is outstanding. They're 95 calories. And you don't have to worry about bitterness, because there's no bitterness. It's beer that tastes like beer. It's definitely not an IPA. It's 1,000% quality. Make sure you check out their information in the description. drinkgaragebeer.com. I thought I just exited out of the podcast screen. My heart just sank into my stomach. It's crazy. There was a good chance, I thought at least, I was wrong, because Calgary did show up. There were a lot of power plays. You got to stay out of the box, all right? You can't just continue to give other teams these chances. Huberdeau gets on the score sheet a bunch of damn times. You know, you're giving them man advantages. As great as the power kill is, and as much as I am intrigued by the fact that those two see the ice so well that they create all these man rushes and they'll score on 2-on-2s. It's nuts. It's nuts what they do. And I do like it, but Sanheim, why are we getting a stupid slashing penalty where you're breaking somebody's stick when they're net front? Was it unlucky that the stick broke? Yes. If the stick didn't break, would they have been called for a slash? Probably not. But sometimes when you take that risk to nonchalantly give someone a little how do you do, that's the risk you run. Stay out of the damn box. What I was hoping was going to happen, though, was the Calgary Flames looking ahead to the Edmonton Oilers. The Battle of Alberta against that team, a team that's looked at to be a Stanley Cup champion type of material. Yeah. Maybe Calgary's got their eye on the prize. I guess now that last season happened with the Flyers, there's less of a lack of preparation, if you will. You could have surprised teams last year. Now, you know what their foundation is. And another season of John Tortorella, it's never a cakewalk with this group and the head coach and the style that he wants them to play. So when you see them on your schedule, it's hard to just overpass. It was also their home opener. And they did a tremendous job with the Johnny tribute. I was in damn tears again, listening to the song, watching the highlight package. It was A+, as I imagined it would be. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of seeing if I missed anything. Joel Farabee. Oh, the Bobby Brinks sauce to Farabee. That Bobby Brinks sauce was, seriously, you couldn't ask for a more perfect sauce right on the tape. Lo Alfredo. Beautiful. Beautiful. Couturier driving the net as well, using his stick to help create a lane. I think there's going to be a big year in our future here for Joel Farabee. He had a wide open goal opportunity on the backside. He was sitting there back door. He got it on his stick. And he just completely whiffed. But that could have been another point. I understand that some Flyers fans have been underwhelmed with Joel Farabee at times, and it doesn't seem, at least from my view, that him and John Tortorella has always seen eye to eye. But I'm a Joel Farabee believer. I think he can get back to that level where he's taking over games, where he is a very special top six forward, where his speed is super beneficial, where he's lighting the lamp and scoring a ton of goals and producing a bunch of points. I truly believe in him. I believe in this power play too, to take a big step. I do notice there's a lot of quick passing. And sometimes when you simplify things, all you got to do is move the puck well and you'll create a mini 2-on-1 somewhere. So whether you're using the half wall, you're using someone at the goal line, however you want to operate, your overload, more of an umbrella set. If you move the puck well and move the puck quickly, the way that I've seen them do over these last couple of games, you could get in space with a chance to deke, with a chance to go backhand. I saw Michkov do it extremely well. Now you're 2 feet in front of the crease, and you can either go backhand, make a move, you could rip it quickly. So bad last year. Can't get worse. Can't get worse. And if your penalty kill keeps up the pace they did last year, and you can get an actual set of power plays going. Now think about your special teams. Can win a lot of games due to your special teams. All right, we have a couple of phone calls that we are going to get to. Before we do, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button as well. And I do want to let you know that you can go to your Apple Podcast app or your Spotify app and search Sports Talk with Broads and subscribe to the podcast there as well. A 5-star rating and a review goes a long way. So I can't thank you enough if you do choose to take that route. And yeah, all right. So with that, let's go to Rowdy in Syracuse, who will start off the new Flyer season with the first call of the year. Here we go.
Hey, bro, it's Rowdy from Syracuse. Wow. What a game from the Flyers. I mean, they looked really, really good. They looked so conditioned. I mean, I thought at the end of the first OT that they just couldn't get off the ice, but they just kept in there and kept doing it. I mean, that's an awesome move from Frost.
It was a great move from Frost. I was giving all the love in the world to Travis Konechny. I forgot to give the man, the myth, the legend some love too, because Frosty with a beautiful bingo to get the actual extra point, which was great. So, yeah, you know what? That's also an excellent point you brought up. They were literally out of breath. It looked like they were going to collapse. Sanheim had to pretty much drop to his knees and grab some air because he couldn't breathe at all. You know, guys were looking at a 2+ minute shift in overtime. That's the worst feeling in the world. When your legs are so dead and you're stuck in your defensive zone and the other team is passing the puck and all you can do is glide because physically you are out of fuel. You can't move your feet any quicker. You look to be in quicksand and they're just getting these shots on net and the puck goes to the wall. That's your man. You try and get out there as quick as possible. Get your stick out in a lane. Maybe you can deflect it into the netting just so you can get a second, just so you get a couple seconds until the puck drops again. And I'm going, oh yeah, this is going to end in a disaster. But the way to battle, and maybe Torts and his training camp did help there. If they don't get pushed as hard as they do with the rope test or anything else Tortorella does, they probably would have looked worse in their D zone. And if they looked even worse in their D zone, maybe they do score there. And now instead of 2 out of 4 on the back-to-back weekend, points-wise, you only get 1, which would be rough. Cam York. The broadcast was talking about his improvement in the offensive zone. One of the areas that he can help contribute more is on that side of the ice. Last year, there was such a focus on being a good, solid, sound defenseman, shut down guys, which is a major duty. But once you secure that part of the game, and of course, when you open up the offensive side, you're probably more prone to get caught here and there where you won't be as sound defensively. But if they feel they're in a good spot there, can you open up the offensive side for Cam York more to let him sort of dabble in his bag of tricks? And I went, I never really thought of him as more of an offensive defenseman. And even when he was spending time with the U.S. National Development Program, I don't remember him having numbers that were contributing offensively more. Let's see. For NDDP, 14 goals in 63 games. So what did it end up being that year? 21 goals in, you got 90-something games. 21 goals in 90-something games. But to be fair, we're talking 88 points in those 90-something games. So a lot of apples. That was half of a season with the USHL. At Michigan, he played 54 games, only 9 goals. So as he jumped up in talent, less goals. He was the captain of the World Junior team. In 7 games, he had 6 points, but only 1 goal. I'm just thinking about what he is. That's all. And they seem to talk about his offensive game like there's another element there. And there probably is. There probably is. I just don't know how high that is. But there probably is. And for him to score so early in the year, massive. And for Tyson Forster, too. Let's not overlook the fact that it took a long-ass time for a goal scorer, a young goal scorer, to finally get off the schneid last season. And that could be crushing. Just frustrating, right? Because you could have wide open nets, you could hit the post, you could beat the goalie with the shot, it hits the crossbar and doesn't go bar down. And then it eats you alive 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, 9 games until, you're at 14 games, 15 games. I got to do this, damn it. Well, if you can just shut that down within seconds, meaning game 1, light the lamp, it lets you breathe. Takes pressure off. And really, for being honest, Jet should have had his first goal of the year. And then we probably look at that outing differently. He didn't play game 2. If he scored his first game, I'll say this about Jet Luchenko. He doesn't look overmatched. He was out there for a goal, and it was part of a defensive zone breakdown. There were others that were problematic in the sequence, but he was definitely a part of that as well. But when you watch him play, it doesn't look like he's overmatched. He doesn't stand out either. So he's not standing out, and there are some fans who feel maybe if he's not standing out, what's the value? But if you're not getting overmatched and you're not overpowered and you're not just absolutely abused night in and night out, and you're getting NHL experience at that age, I don't think that's a bad thing either. But we'll see how it continues to play. I know some are talking about certain face-offs in the offensive zone, defensive zone, looking at some numbers. So, we'll need more of a sample size for sure. But if he's out there as a bottom 6 forward who's not necessarily hurting you and has some really explosive moments with his speed and is contributing throughout offensively with certain things, I don't think that would be a bad thing for such a young kid either. I mean, you're getting consistent minutes. You're playing a really strong bottom 6 role at that age. Like, I can't get overlooked. I think that's probably beneficial for you and better for you compared to playing for the Storm. That's just my 2 cents, though. Got robbed big time. Okay, let's go to Tyler.
This was an after dark game, and I thought I needed a cup of coffee to stay the hell awake. Hell fucking no. The hockey gods kept me awake, no problem, throughout the entire game. Now, I thought the Flyers were a little bit outworked throughout the first and second period, but in the third, they turned up the heat, and we were able to tie it and get it to overtime, which that didn't work, which turned into a shootout. Baseball all over again. Freaking 90% mental, the other half is physical. I don't know. It's what it looked like with the shootout, man. Fucking holy shit. Back and forth, back and forth. You'd think the game was over after the 1 score, but no, it wasn't. You had Forster, or no, who was it? Konechny. The one guy in the end was able to make the slowest, smoothest, fast approach and was able to win the game for you. What were your thoughts? How do you feel about the game? Was it like a 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10? I give them a 10 out of 10. Great first game. Talk to you next time, please.
Thanks for calling in, man. How would I label that first game? Because that obviously, both calls I selected were just based off the timeline on when they came in. I realized it was a hockey call. Both were against Vancouver. 10 out of 10 is strong. But, look, you're down a couple times. You fight back. You survive the final overtime rush. You win in a shootout, which you don't do. Power play. Listen. I guess 10 and 10 for your first game. You told me to go out in Vancouver. Slow start for Michkov until the third period. He shows off his signs of greatness. Shooting pucks at angles. Like he's at the goal line. He's trying to shoot it short side, try and squeeze it in an unthinkable place. That's the mindset that he has. He's a different dude, man. He's a beast. He is a beast. I just wish that he had 4 points under his belt in the first 2 games, so then the casuals are like, oh, yeah. Now they're probably thinking, hey, he got a power play assist in a game where they were down. Was it 5-2 at that point? They didn't have much time left to actually do anything. So the knock might be it took him that to get his first point. I wish there was a little bit more loudness involved. But when you pay attention to him, you could tell he's got a skill set that not many do. It's rare. It's rare. Hell, John Tortorella, think about this. This is how you know. And we'll wrap things up here. John Tortorella is willing to live with the in-between-the-legs type of shots, the Michigan attempts, and all of the crazy absurdness. Whether that's Briere and Jonesy going, yo, Torch, we love you. We know you're electric. It's a new era. This is what the kids do. You got to put the blinders on. And he goes, all right, listen, I get it. I see what type of youth is out there these days, and this is what they're doing. But Torch is willing to let him do that. I'm letting Lawton do it, TK do it, Coots do it. There's a reason why. Because he's that type of breed. So just know that that's what we're working with here. It'll start to get going for him. There'll be nights where he's constantly getting 2 points, maybe a Hattie, maybe a 4-point night. 0 goals before assists, 3 power play goals. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So take that for what it is. All right. I'll shut up now. I can't wait for the 7 o'clock games. So I'm over the 10 o'clockers. Maybe mid-season, but not to start the season. You know what I'm saying? You're driving me crazy over here. All right. Anyway, thank you guys all so much. I'll see you on the next one.